You need to spend time with yourself. Living in your 20s is not a one size fits all. I feel like I should have started here. Just do what will make you money, right? Don't bother about your passion. Your passion will come when the money comes. This is what I'm saying. Like, it's only good ones that are coming to me. Hi, it's been a minute. What's up, guys? How are you doing? My name is Mercy. If you're new here, thank you for tuning in. If you're not, my OGs, what's up? How are you doing? Well, as you can see from the thumbnail, let's just go straight into it. But before I do that, if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, okay? And if you're subscribed, make sure you like, make sure you drop a comment, and let me know, okay? Like, today's topic is actually very pivotal to me and a lot of people currently in their 20s trying to navigate life. In our mothers and fathers time, their 20s wasn't as difficult as it is now for us, especially if you are very hands-on, very social media savvy. Of course, everyone in their 20s these days are social media savvy. We are all Gen Zs. We want to know what's up. We already know what's up. You tend to see a lot of people navigate their life in a certain kind of way. For that reason, we tend to posture our life to look like theirs, right? To see one big sister on Instagram and they say a lot of things on their bio. You see stuff that they do, maybe they travel outside the country every 3 months or every month. And you're just like, oh my god, I could be living this life. But there's this pressure in our generation to want to have it all together at a very young age. I see a lot of people still be under so much pressure. You know, your 20s is that period of your life where people will tell you, oh, get married early. And they'll still tell you, oh, don't get married early. You need to figure your life out first before you get married. And see some people will say, oh, the biological clock. Make sure that you have all your children before you're 30 so you don't have complications, blah, blah, blah. Everybody is right, quite all right. Being in your 20s is actually sitting yourself down and trying to know what is best for you at that time. Now, a lot of people grow up so fast, so it's okay when they already have everything figured out at a very young age. Let's say some people got admitted into school at age 16 or 15. They went to private unis. They didn't have to spend so much time, unlike us that went to public schools. I mean government schools or public schools, and we had to spend about 5 6 years together with all these unnecessary things like strikes and all. People like that would easily navigate their life. It's easy for them to actually settle down at their early 20s, unlike those that are actually just graduating at their early 20s. Being in your 20s is actually sitting down and trying to not put yourself under any kind of pressure. That's that about marriage. I don't know why I started on marriage topic, because a lot of people in their 20s feel like, oh, I should be married, I shouldn't be married, blah, 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 blah. The second thing is actually your career, right? Career decisions is actually one of the most important things when it comes to navigating your life, and it all starts in your 20s, right? Although a lot of us got into school, uni, high school, college, what have you, when we were still teenagers. And to be fair, most of our career decisions at that time were influenced by what other people had to say, right? So you surf through the internet, or let me just even start from the regular one. Your class teacher says that you're brainy and just says, oh, this person, you should be in science class just because you have sense. I mean, you're book smart. And some of us grew up in households that had lawyers, doctors, and whatnot. And you just grow up and feel like, oh, I want to be a doctor. Not because you have affinity for helping people or saving lives, but because you already see a lot of people in that line in your household. Or maybe you watched a movie and a character just sparked so much joy in you. I'll be like, oh, I want to be like that person. So I said all of that to say that there are times that our career decision is not solely based on what we want, because at that point in time we don't naturally know what we want. But God being so good, some people would choose a career path in that phase of their life, that teenage phase of their life, and they would see through to it. Like, they would continue on that path, and that's what they're going to do for their life. While some people, even after doing a particular course, following a career path for so many years, right, they would at the end of the day choose to do something else. That's how much indecision and decision making has to be done in our 20s. Besides relationship or marriage, there's still career. There's still, what do I want to do in my life? What interests me? A lot of people have come to embrace themselves, right? They've come to embrace themselves. They've come to realize that I should actually be doing what I love doing, not what I have to do. In your 20s, you hear people say, especially when it comes to career, you hear people say, just do what will make you money, right? Don't bother about your passion. Your passion will come when the money comes. And you hear people say, oh, don't run a business, work under a company just for stability. And you hear other people say, oh, run a business and leave 9 to 5 for those that can do 9 to 5. Basically, because they believe that after some time, your business will pick up and then you'll be fine. Running a business, I'm very passionate about running a business, trust me. We're going to be having a lot of videos about running a business, a profitable business at that. You can liken running a business to growing a child because every business has different phases. So the first few years would need a lot of your attention, a lot of your grooming, a lot of your nurturing, just the way you nurture a child when the child is first born. So it takes you spending so much time running the business, knowing what works, knowing what doesn't work, tweaking it, blah 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 blah. So it takes all of that to actually grow a successful business. And for some people, that phase will take 2 years. For some people, that phase will take 5 years. So it's not a one size fits all. So you hear things like, oh, don't run a business, oh, run a business, follow your passion, follow your dream, blah 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 blah. See, my dear brothers and sisters, the most important thing when it comes to career in your 20s is to actually know the stage you're in. Okay, should I work a 9 to 5 to build structure in me? Am I a disciplined person? Do I want to learn discipline? Then work a 9 to 5. Do I want to learn how to work under structure? Do I want to learn structure itself? Then work a 9 to 5. Okay, do I have all of this knowledge? Do I have the resources to run my business? Will I be dependent on my business? All these questions is what you should answer if you want to navigate, if you want to go through the career path or the entrepreneurship path. Aside all of these things that I've said, honestly, the most important thing that you should do in your 20s is investment. And I'm not talking about land or car or anything at all. I mean the investment in yourself, your personal investment. If it means taking a course, if it means a career change, if it means traveling to see how it works in other places, if it means exerting yourself more, if it means being more disciplined, if it means that you have to change your network, right? It means a lot of things for a lot of people. And I understand that everybody listening to this right now has different things or different stages in their life that they are in. Living in your 20s is not a one size fits all. The fact that your elder sister or your elder brother or a big uncle or your mentor did it a particular way doesn't mean that you have to do it that way too. You have to understand that navigating your life is dependent on you and what God will have you do in that time. Your 20s is actually that year where you sit yourself down and map out what you want to gain, what you want to achieve, what you want to do with yourself. Then you have the conversation with God. Seek counsel, but don't let your life be dependent on other people's counsel as regards your life, right? So the fact that your uncle said it doesn't necessarily mean that it's for you, right? I hear a lot of people say, oh, especially when I go for conferences, the fact that it is said doesn't mean that it is for you. You have to pick what is actually for you, right? Especially in this time and age of social media. See, guys, there are days that I just shut myself off social media, especially when there's so much pressure, there's so much going on, there's so much noise, right? So I just shut myself off social media and act like I'm not even in this world. Basically, because I need to spend time with myself. Another tip I want to give people right now, I want to give you listening to this, is that you need to spend time with yourself. A lot of people don't spend time with themselves. So I see it as dating myself, getting to know who I really am, how I respond to situations, how I navigate life, how I navigate things that happen to me. So it helps you know what to say and what to do, where to go, who to be with. So it takes knowing yourself to actually know the kind of people you should have around you. It takes knowing yourself to know where the kind of environment you should be. So it takes knowing yourself to actually understand that I should be doing this at this time. I shouldn't put myself in situations like this. See, date yourself, like spend time with yourself. take yourself out, know what is important to you. Like the way you intentionally try to know someone, get to know yourself like that. Like spend time away from people and spend it with yourself. A lot of self reflection happens in that space. A lot of knowledge happens in that space. So you know the kind of person you want to be with, you know the kind of person you are. Identity. I feel like I should have started here. But identity is actually one of the major issues we have in this generation. I'm currently in Nigeria. There are people outside the country, even in Nigeria, right? Funny that are men but see themselves as women, and they dress like women, talk like women, you know. And sometimes I don't get it because I'm like, okay, what is going on here? But identity is actually a major issue. Some people have taken it up the notch to start dressing like the other sex, but a lot of people are not dressing like um a woman or a man, but they don't even know who they are, right? And it's not even, it doesn't have to get to that point. Sometimes you just don't know who you are. You just define yourself based on what you see on social media. You define yourself based on what you hear. You define yourself based on what someone says about you. So you hear things like, "Oh, Mercy is very I don't know. I'm trying to use a bad word, but this is what I'm saying. Like it's only good ones that are coming to me because that's how much intentional I am about what I perceive about myself. So I don't know. There's no bad word coming to mind. But let's just say someone says, "Oh, Mercy is a snob," for instance. Some people now will hear that thing and feel like, "Oh, I'm a snob," and carry it on their head. I mean, somebody just said it to you doesn't necessarily mean that that's who you are. Some people carry it on their head and be like, "Oh, yeah, I said I'm a snob, then I'm a snob." No, you are not. Like you are who you define yourself to be. You are who God has defined you to be. So I had been talking since and I just realized that my phone wasn't recording. So I have to like reiterate. So one of the best ways to actually get to know who you really are is by spending time with God, to have a conversation with God and just spend time with yourself. I think I said that earlier. Spend so much time with yourself, so much so that you know your likes, you know your dislikes, you know the kind of community you want around you, you know everything that you want for yourself. So that's basically it, honestly. As I close out, I just want you to know that navigating your 20s is actually not a one size fits all. Life is very different for everybody. So you need to understand that the fact that this person is going in this direction doesn't necessarily mean that you should go in that direction also. I pray that as you navigate your 20s, you actually make the best decision for yourself and you're not limited to what your environment says you're limited to. I want you to know always that you are limitless. There is no limit to the things that you can achieve as you have a limitless God. So yeah, signing out, your girl Alabi Mercy Oluwapelumi, and this is me saying bye. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure that you follow me on this channel as I share more insights into entrepreneurship and business leadership and a little bit of behind the scenes of how my life goes. Um, and yeah, see you in my next one. Bye.